movie Smile, let me just say, I did not have high expectations when I went to see this movie. Not at all. But despite these low expectations, it was actually a really excellent movie. I won't say the movie was as good as the reviews that I read and the reviews I watched. People were saying it's a 10 out of 10, an 8 out of 10. It's not the best horror movie I've ever seen, but considering my low expectations going into the film, this was good enough to stand out, so I give it a 7 out of 10. Anyway, my brief description of the movie, it's about a psychiatrist who may or may not be suffering from mental problems. That's the way I interpreted the movie. The movie is about a psychiatrist who is being supposedly plagued by a paranormal force, but we don't know if she is hallucinating or if there is actually some sort of monster or creature coming after her. There's this series of suicides that she has to investigate because several other people claim to have been plagued by the same affliction that she has throughout the movie. And I'm calling it an affliction not because they reveal that she's hallucinating. They actually don't reveal anything. I'm going to say that right now. Without spoiling anything, we don't find out what's wrong with her or not. It's a surprise ending. They left it on a cliffhanger. It seems like this movie was set up for an unlimited number of sequels, like many horror movies these days, but I could be wrong. Maybe they left it on a nice twist ending because they just felt like that was the best thing to do. So the ending, surprise twist ending that left you guessing, that honestly saved the movie for me. There were many elements of this movie that I thought were really boring and kind of annoying. My main issue with this movie was the fact that it wasn't really scary. It was definitely a strange, eerie, psychological mind bender. It was definitely had some thrilling aspects. But the only thing that was scary about it was these continuous jumps in volume where it would get really silent and then BAM! They mixed the volume so strangely. It goes from dead silent to breaking your eardrums in an instant. And that's their idea of scaring you. They're like, oh, loud noise, and someone's behind the main character. Ooh, jump scare. It happens way too much during this movie. Uh, all the way up until the ending, I wasn't sure how to feel about this because it felt like a giant mystery box. Like they were just misleading us, and then at the very end, they were just gonna have it be a nice, happy ending where she gets better out of nowhere through her own willpower. But then that doesn't happen. Then she dies. She fucking lights herself on fire. She douses herself in gasoline with this sadistic smile on her face, which is kind of the crux of the movie. All of the other people who had committed suicide, who were being attacked by the same supernatural monster, they all get this really crazy Joker smile as they lose their mind, and then they kill themselves in the most horrific way possible. One lady gives herself a Colombian necktie with a piece of pottery shard. Somebody else stabs himself in the gut with some gardening shears. And our main character, she sets herself on fire. And one thing I also did appreciate about this movie, another positive note, it wasn't very gory. Like I said, there were grotesque, shocking scenes, but they only showed you part of it, and then the camera would pull away or cut to someone else's face to show you the reaction, so you don't really see the whole bloody scene happening. Like when the one girl in the beginning of the movie, she gives herself the Colombian necktie with the pottery shard. You see her start to make the incision, and then like a little blood coming down her neck, and then they cut away, and then they cut back as she's like kind of finishing it off. So you see like the blood on her neck and like the wound, but they don't do a close up or anything, and they don't do like this long drawn out throat slit. There are these gory, over the top, grotesque movies that are not done well, that just seem self indulgent. Like they're showing you blood for blood's sake. Like somebody's like, ooh, let's get as much blood on screen as possible, even when it doesn't make sense, because that's what scares people, is lots of blood. Or that's just someone's idea of what a horror movie should be. And when it's not done well, it's annoying and it's gross, and then, like I said, it just seems self serving. They did not do that with this movie. There was blood, but not a lot. It's not scary so much as it is confusing, because it just adds to the mystery of what is this supernatural creature or possible psychosis that's plaguing all of these people. Like, did they all go nuts in the same fashion and kill themselves because of some disorder, or is there actually a creature jumping from person to person, forcing them to kill themselves? We don't know. I'm gonna wrap this up because I feel like I've repeated myself several times and I don't have much else to say about this movie. The ending was excellent, the plot kept me guessing, the loud noises and jump scares and surprises, they got annoying after like the third time and there was about 50 of them, but the plot and the ending were good enough to, like, I could ignore that. Thank you for watching.